in a quiet American school hall. Every student knew the twins. Ava, with skin dark like night, but heart that shined warmer than sunrise. Soft voice, soft eyes. The kind of girl who remembered your birthday, even when the world forgot your name. And then there was Lily, snow-white skin, glowing like a movie star. Head high, eyes sharp, a queen without a crown, confident, arrogant, feared more than admired. When the school election was announced, no one was surprised when Lily stood up first. She didn't want to lead. She wanted to win, even if it meant lying, manipulating, breaking her own sister's heart. But Ava, she didn't stand to win. She stood to show the world that kindness is not weakness. That respect isn't taken, it is earned. And in a school full of noise, one truth would soon echo louder than every lie. People may forget your words. People may forget your face. But they never forget how you made them feel. This is the story the twins at the school would remember forever. The morning sun poured itself over Riverdale High, a small-town American school where every creaking locker door and every echoing hallway had its own history, its own stories, its own whispers. But today was different. Today, the school carried a strange electricity, a tension that could be felt in the air like the thick heaviness before rain. And at the center of it all stood the twins. Not identical, not even close, but bound by blood, by memory, by a childhood filled with shared birthdays and unevenly shared love. Ava, her skin deep, rich, warm like mahogany, eyes soft, thoughtful, almost musical in the way they reflected kindness. She walked like someone who didn't want to disturb the world, only understand it. And Lily, shining white skin that caught light like polished porcelain, golden hair that flowed like every teenage movie star stereotype, and a confidence sharp enough to cut someone without a single word. She didn't walk. She entered, like the hallway belonged to her, like the air existed for her to breathe first. Students had gotten used to the rhythm of their steps, like day and night passing side by side. But today, that rhythm was about to break, because today, the school election would be announced, and for the first time, their bond would be tested in a way neither of them were prepared for. The hallway buzzed, friends laughing, lockers slamming, sneakers squeaking. Lily walked in first, head held high, a group of admirers following behind like planets orbiting a star. She was adored, but not loved, respected, but out of fear, followed, but not trusted. Her laughter was loud, confident, a sound made to be heard. Ava walked a few paces behind, books held close, steps careful, polite, almost invisible unless someone needed her, which surprisingly, people often did. A crying freshman, a struggling classmate, a kid having a bad day. Ava noticed, always, and without announcing herself, she helped. Today, as Lily opened her locker, she glanced at Ava's reflection in the metal door, a smirk forming like something cruel and familiar. "Try not to embarrass me today," Lily said, voice sugar-coated poison. Ava blinked, a soft, tired expression. "I'm not trying to compete with you," she whispered. "That's because you know you can't," Lily replied, slamming her locker shut just as the principal's voice burst through the hallway speakers. "Attention students. School elections begin this week. Campaign entries start today." The hallway erupted. Cheers, whispers, excitement crackling like sparks. Lily smiled, wide, victorious, certain. She looked at Ava again, almost daring her to speak. But Ava didn't, because Ava wasn't thinking about winning. She was thinking about helping the school find someone who cared. And Lily? She wanted the title, the recognition, the crown, not the responsibility. Two sisters, two hearts, two very different reasons to stand. And fate had just set the stage. The school auditorium filled quickly, wooden seats creaking under restless students, stage lights humming overhead, banners from past years fluttering softly on the walls. Principal Harris stood at the podium, tall, calm, the kind of leader who didn't need to raise his voice to be heard. "We are looking," he began, "for a student who leads not with ego, but with purpose, someone who will represent every voice in the school." Lily sat upright, like the speech was written for her. Ava sat still, like she was listening for meaning, not praise. Then the moment came. Students who wished to run, please come forward. Lily stood first, graceful, sure of herself, applause echoing like thunder from her group of followers. But then, something unexpected happened. A voice, quiet, nervous, but steady. "I'd like to run too." A silence spread, slow, heavy, as Ava rose from her seat. Gasps, whispers. Someone even laughed. Lily froze, face stiff, eyes wide with disbelief, and then amusement. "You!" she whispered loudly enough for Rose to hear. "You don't have the strength to lead a goldfish." A few laughed with her, the ones who feared her more than they liked her. But Ava didn't flinch. She didn't shrink. She looked straight ahead. "I'm not running to be better than anyone," Ava said softly, voice clear enough to reach even the back row. "I'm running because people deserve someone who listens." The auditorium didn't cheer. It didn't explode. It just felt something shift, something small, something quiet, something powerful. Lily leaned back, lips curling, mind racing, because for the first time, she felt something she hadn't expected. Not fear of losing, but fear of being seen for who she really was. And Ava, without even trying, had just started a war. By the time the clock struck noon, the school cafeteria was louder than usual, not because of hunger, but because the election had become the only topic that mattered. Trays clattered, shoes dragged, laughter rose. But there was a different kind of sound, too. Whispers that didn't float. They cut. Ava sat at a table near the corner, not hiding, not afraid, just quietly working, spreading her simple campaign flyers on the wood surface like petals, each one handwritten, each one honest. Every voice matters. Lead with respect. Kindness is strength. Her handwriting looked like her heart, soft, steady, hopeful. But hope is fragile in a place where envy is loud. At the center of the cafeteria, Lily sat surrounded by her usual orbit. Friends laughing too loud, eyes sharpened by the thrill of competition. Her posters were already printed, bold colors, expensive gloss, big promises. Choose confidence. Choose Lily. Future starts with power. Her table didn't just look like a campaign hub. It looked like a throne room. Lily watched Ava, but not like someone watching an opponent. She watched her like someone watching an insect, a threat too small to notice, until suddenly it wasn't. Kayla, Lily's closest friend, tall, blonde, cruel only because cruelty was fashionable, leaned close. "You really think she stands a chance?" she scoffed. Lily smirked, but not out of amusement. Out of fear. She refused a name. "She won't win," Lily said simply, "but she'll try, and that's the embarrassing part." Kayla laughed, too loud. Lily smiled, but her eyes didn't, because deep down, a truth gnawed like something sharp. Ava's campaign wasn't about popularity. It was about people, and people were already beginning to feel something when they looked at her. Not admiration, not excitement, but trust. Something Lily had never earned, only demanded. So Lily made a decision. Quiet, internal, dangerous. If she could not shine brighter, she would make sure Ava was dimmed. Across the cafeteria, a freshman approached Ava, awkward, nervous, hands shaking slightly. "H.A. Ava." Ava looked up, warm smile immediately forming, like turning on a light. "Yeah? What's up?" The boy swallowed. I saw your slogan, the one about listening. I wanted to say, I think that really matters." Ava's eyes softened, not with victory, not with pride, but with genuine gratitude. "Thank you," she said, voice gentle. "It means more than you know." This one moment, small, delicate, almost invisible, traveled, not through words, but through feeling. Someone at the next table noticed, then someone else, then someone else. Kindness doesn't shout, but it spreads. And Lily felt it, because sometimes the loudest thing in a room is the quiet person people start to turn toward. Lily leaned back, nails tapping her cup, her jaw tight, her heart tight. She whispered to Kayla, time to flip the story. Kayla grinned, malicious, thrilled. And with just one sentence, the war began. Did you hear? Ava only joined the election to make Lily look bad. The words left Kayla's mouth like poison. And poison doesn't need truth to kill, only ears. The whispers started slow, then faster, then everywhere. Not because people believed it, but because gossip tastes sweet when it's about someone who doesn't defend herself. Ava heard the rumor before lunch ended. She didn't confront anyone. She didn't argue. She didn't shout. She just sat quietly. But her silence? It hurt more than any slap could, because silence is what kind people bleed into when the world chooses loudness over truth. When the final bell rang, the campus erupted outward, chatter spilling into sidewalks, parking lots, buses. But Ava didn't leave. She walked to the small garden behind the school, the place where teachers rarely went and students rarely cared to notice, a place where silence felt safe. She sat on the cold stone bench, campaign flyers still in her hand. Not perfect, not printed, just paper, just hope. And hope can be so heavy when carried alone. She didn't cry loudly. She didn't sob. She let tears slip quietly, the kind of tears that don't need drama, because the pain is real enough. Footsteps approached, soft, unsure. A voice, familiar. Ava. She looked up, and there stood Jordan. Not popular, not admired, not loud, just steady, warm. The kind of person whose presence felt like a hand resting gently on your shoulder. You okay? He asked. Ava wiped her cheek, forcing a smile. I'm fine, she whispered. But Jordan didn't move. You don't have to be, he said simply. The sentence cracked something inside her, not in a breaking way, in a releasing way. Ava breathed, shaky, like she had been holding air for days. They think I'm trying to tear Lily down, she said, voice trembling. But I just wanted to show that kindness matters, that people deserve to feel heard, that leadership isn't owning people, it's caring about them. Jordan sat beside her, not close enough to overwhelm, but close enough to stand with her. That's exactly why you should lead, he said. Ava looked up, eyes red but glowing. You think I can win? Jordan shook his head. I don't know if you'll win the election. Ava's chest tightened, disappointment flickering. But then Jordan smiled, genuine, warm, beautiful in its honesty. But I know you'll win something she won't. Ava blinked, confused. What's that? Jordan's voice softened. People's hearts. And Ava understood something in that moment. Winning isn't always a trophy. Sometimes it's the way someone says your name when they need comfort, the way a stranger feels safe sitting beside you, the way a quiet voice can still change a room. The wind shifted, leaves drifting around them like small blessings. Far away, laughter echoed from the parking lot. Lily's voice among them, loud and victorious. But here, in the quiet, something much more powerful was happening. A heart was choosing courage. And tomorrow, the school would feel it. Because truth doesn't need to be shouted. It only needs to be seen. Election day arrived with the slow gravity of a final heartbeat before confession. The school gym buzzed, chairs scraping floors, sneakers tapping, whispers carrying the kind of sharp, shiny excitement that comes before something public happens. Something everyone would remember. Something that had weight. The banners hung proudly. Student council election. Speeches today. But the excitement wasn't for the election. It was for the drama. The story. The unfolding of the twins. Lily's campaign posters shine like billboards. Perfect lighting, perfect smiles, perfect promises. Ava's flyers were taped unevenly, made of nothing but honesty and pen marks from someone who cared more than she advertised. Backstage, Ava stood still, breathing slow, the world loud outside but quiet inside her chest. Her fingers shook, not from fear of speaking, but from fear of hurting. She didn't want to win against Lily. She wanted to win with integrity. And Lily, just a few steps away, felt something strange creeping into her bones. Not victory, not triumph, but doubt. The kind that crawls in when someone knows their success is standing on a lie. Kayla leaned to Lily, whispering, "If you just repeat the rumor again in your speech, everyone will believe it. Lily swallowed, her throat suddenly dry, because lies are easy to speak, until you have to stand behind them. Principal Harris stepped up to the microphone. Students, today is not just about choosing a leader. It is about choosing what we value. The crowd stilled. Lily Thompson, you may go first. Lily stepped onto the stage, applause echoing like artificial thunder. She smiled, beautiful, blinding, hollow. Her speech was practiced, polished, perfect. Words rolled from her tongue like sugar dripping from a poisoned fruit. She talked about confidence, about strength, about knowing how to guide others. But the students shifted. Their eyes wandered. Because everyone knows what false sweetness tastes like. It tastes like something that melts fast and leaves a bitter residue. Lily finished with a bright smile. The applause came, but it was lighter, thinner, like clapping because it's expected, not because it's earned. Then Principal Harris spoke again. Ava Thompson, your turn. A quiet hush fell, so deep it almost felt sacred. Ava stepped forward. No spotlight needed to find her. The room did it on its own. She unfolded her small, handwritten note cards, then paused, and she let them fall to the floor. Gasps, not dramatic, not rebellious, just human. She looked at the students, really looked, not to impress, not to persuade, but to connect. Her voice was soft, but it carried. I don't have much to offer you in terms of promises, she began. The room leaned forward. I can't promise to fix everything. I can't promise to make everyone happy. And I can't promise to lead perfectly. A breath, a heartbeat, but I can promise that I will listen. Silence, deep, aching, heavy. I know what it feels like to be overlooked, to sit alone, to feel like your voice doesn't matter. And I don't want anyone here to feel that way. Not ever. Students who had never spoken to her felt her. I don't want to lead because I think I'm better. I want to lead because I know what it feels like to be unseen. And I don't want anyone to feel invisible in their own school. Her eyes found Lily's, and they didn't accuse. They didn't blame. They just loved. Even now, I'm not running against my sister. I'm running for all of you. The gym didn't erupt. It didn't cheer. It breathed. A slow, deep collective breath, because the truth never needs volume. It only needs room. When the gym emptied, the applause faded, and the posters curled at the corners. Lily walked into the hallway alone. No crowd, no orbit, no throne. She leaned against the wall, breathing too fast, her hands trembling, because she had won before the votes. But she had never felt smaller. Her chest ached, not with anger, but with something heavier. Truth. Ava approached slowly, gentle, careful, like walking toward a wounded bird. Lily didn't look up. Don't say it, Lily whispered, voice cracking. Ava didn't speak. She simply stood beside her, not in front of her, not above her, beside. Lily's voice broke. All I wanted was for people to see me. Ava's eyes softened. They do, she whispered. But you didn't give them anything to hold on to. Lily's breath hitched. I don't know how to be like you. Ava shook her head. You don't need to be like me. You just need to be honest. With others. With yourself. Lily looked up, tears finally falling. I hurt you. Yes, Ava said. Not angry. Just true. And I'm still here. That was the forgiveness Lily had never known how to ask for. The kind that didn't erase pain, but held it gently. The election results came over the loudspeaker. The new student council president is Ava Thompson. The school cheered, but Ava didn't move. She stayed with her sister, because winning meant nothing if she walked forward alone. Lily's voice trembled. You deserved it. Ava smiled, small, tired, real. So, do you? One day, when you lead with your heart, not your fear. Lily broke into quiet tears. Not dramatic, not showy, human. And in that silent hallway, two sisters finally met in the same place. Not as light and shadow, not as winner and loser, but as two hearts learning how to grow.